Phyllis Elaine, take one. Where's my nose?
MCVC we encountered originally over 10 years ago when they first started. Steve Bates actually contacted us and we came along to a few meetings when it first started, and then we sort of drifted away because I started my own little business, so we drifted away. And then we came back to MCVC about 3 years ago. We met up with them again on Armed Forces Day, and Chris says, why don't you come along and join us again? And we did, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Myself and Andrew, my husband, who was a veteran, ex-RAF regiment. He only served 3 years because he had a brain tumour, so he had to come out because of the first brain tumour. So otherwise he'd served a lot longer. He loved it, lived and breathed it, still does. He had a second tumour in 2021, just after lockdown. So he was in the Hallamshire for that one. They removed that, but he still struggles a lot with everything. So I'm a carer, 24/7 carer. So this saves my life.
We met at the Rotherham show, at the tent, and I think it was Tracy that invited him to join, to come down when he chatted, and that's how it all started. It was in his about 93 when we started coming here. And Tracy used to pick him up and bring him here, and he loved it. And then in the naughty corner, of course. And then she invited me to come and join him. And then I got with this group in the good corner and the crafters.
He had major surgery in Hallamshire, but obviously that was after lockdown, so he was in there 5 weeks. I couldn't go up and visit him. He had to sort of do that all by himself. So there was no visiting time. Because it was the Hallamshire, there was still a lot of visiting restrictions at Hallamshire. And because we were in Rotherham as well, the rates were higher in Rotherham, I think, so they wouldn't let me go up to visit him. So it was occasional phone calls, and that was it. Yeah, because he was in Rotherham for 4 weeks before he went in there, and I could only visit him once a day at that point. So he, like you say, he'd had enough. He says, I'm coming home. He couldn't stand it. He struggles a lot because we've had no help. No help from the NHS, we've had no physio, nothing. It was sort of, right, we've signed you off, that's it, goodbye. So it's been constant, yeah. We used to go out quite often, we used to visit places, say, well, we'll just go to Wentworth, we'll have a day out. And obviously we can't do that now because Andrew struggles with his walking. So it's just a case of we sit at home and watch telly and that's it. Andrew will do a word search or I'll do my knitting, but there's nothing. Occasionally he'll say, come on, let's go out. But once he's done that, I mean, we were in town the other day, and once he's done that, he's had enough. And that's it for a week.
He was 97 when he died. He only ever wanted to get a century. He was a bad cricketer and never got a century. And he was going to get it in life, but didn't quite make it. Honorary member of cricket leagues and you name it, that was it. But he loved being in the naughty corner and chatting. He just loved people. So, yeah. I lost a daughter 4 years ago. She had cancer. She was only 48. In that same year, I lost my dog. I knew it's a dog, but I lost my dog. So I was no longer a dog owner, dog walker. And then I had the heart attack. So it wasn't just the carers coming for Phil. I was there, but he was the one with the carers. So things changed dramatically. I could not, found the hardest part, I could not do all the caring for him that I'd done in my 35 years of caring. because I physically couldn't do it. And I found that extremely hard. Phil was 3 weeks and he decided he didn't want any more medication. I said, well, what about your century? And just remember, this is at the side of the bed, he says, not like this, love. I've had enough now. But it was a relaxed, accepted decision. And he's always liked to bet. And his favourite, what they call it, Frankie Dettori, was riding. It was supposedly his last race at that race thing. And it was on. And a friend of ours came to visit him. And he didn't realise how close to death he was. And he sat there. And this race was on. And that's the first animation I'd seen in him. And I just said to Stuart, can I? He says, you can do anything you want. And I turned, just remember he's in his room in a nursing home, full volume. The race was run. And he won this. And we'd got a bet on. Stuart put him a bet on, told him what he was doing, wrote out the bet, and it was put on for him. And this horse won. And he could just see his face. And within 10 minutes, he was gone. He was gone knowing he'd won it, probably first rate, he's won for a year. But I thought, did I do wrong? The matron and the nurse came in, the doctor, and I said, was I all right? She came up to me. She gave me the biggest hug. She says, when I die, I hope my daughter will do something like that for me. And that broke me.
We come to the Friday drop-ins. I think he's been to a couple of the Tuesday drop-ins, but not many. And then obviously most of the events we go on to. We go down to Studio 6. I go to Studio 62. He went to castings once, but he struggled with that, so we didn't bother with that again. But most of the events we go to, trips, day trips and things like that, because it obviously gets him out. I've got help to get him out, so it's brilliant. Otherwise, we'd be sitting at home. It gives me that break, because I sit with the girls, and Andrew sits with the guys, and I know he's fine with guys, so they sort of keep an eye on him. But it gives me that break. We're in the same room, but it's a break. So it gives that relaxation time. I find it quite interesting because I am a crafter, but I'm doing crafts that I wouldn't have thought of doing on my own, like with the driftwood and things like that, and going to castings, the things I would never have thought of doing on my own. So I find crafting relaxing anyway, so I'm just learning more, and I love that. I want to do different things, so that's helping me to do different things that I wouldn't have thought of doing. The wreath making, I think I enjoyed, and I found the most difficult. And I thought, I can do that. And I really surprised myself. And we've actually made the willow wreath from scratch. So that really shocked me. We did that at Clifton Park. That really shocked me, that I could actually do that. And we've also made little bird feeders from willow as well. Simple things like diamond art and things like that I would never thought of doing. And then it's like, oh yeah, I actually quite enjoyed that. I might buy a bit more of that. Just silly, simple little things. It's crazy. Yeah, I find that quite important because it's things I probably wouldn't have done. Places I probably wouldn't have gone to. It's things like, I'd like to have gone there, but I won't get a chance. But with this, I do get a chance to. Yeah, it is very important.
Well, I've never been a crafter, ever. But I enjoyed the wreath making, which was absolutely, I think that was perhaps the first when I'd been with everybody together in something that wasn't in the craft corner. And the fellowship among it was amazing. And the results, they were brilliant, weren't they? They were really good, yeah. And I enjoyed it. And then we've gone on for more. And I've enjoyed it. I don't like the little bits, but I try. At the moment, last week's craft was a whale. I showed my daughter when I got home, and it's now hung in my car. Mum, you didn't do that. I said, I did. That's what the crafting means. But it's the camaraderie. We have a good laugh. Like you say, things come up, like I've gone AWOL with the craft and bring like Elaine or one of the other girls in and put you right, and it brings something else out. You remember something, and then you share that bit, and then before you know, we've all done something similar, and it's just someone to chat to and get on with. But at the end, you've got something. You've got an item, and you think, yeah, that was good fun. Oh, I remember so-and-so saying that while we were doing it. Things like that. I've always had someone there, no one to care for, no one, and that's hard. I know it's hard caring, but take that away and you lose being the wife, the carer. And I always said I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was because the things I'd had to become took over and then they were taken away. So coming here to MCVC and all the people here that have different things to bring into the conversation, it lifts you. You see, there is life afterwards. And I couldn't see it. I thought it would have been a lot worse than I am now. It was only a short period when you have to shut yourself away. But you're not left, you're encouraged, built up, and you will be coming out and we will share. You will make this.
It's been very important, very important. So I couldn't have done without it. I think I would have been in a psychiatric ward without it. And that is being honest. I really think I would have been in a psychiatric ward without this. Because I've no family left. Andrew's parents are elderly. So I've nobody to sort of help us with it. So without this, I think I would have been in a psychiatric ward.
When I'm feeling lost, there's someone to ring. Go to the crafty corner and they make me sew something. Which might sound silly, but it's not. It's not, it's important. Yes, so they were very, very much a support. And obviously there are several of the ladies that have lost their partners. And I'm sure we helped each other, having been in the same situation, and that's, that really does help. You can say what you feel in that corner. You can say what you really feel, not what somebody says, how are you? You say, oh, I'm fine. You can be honest and say, well, I've had a really rubbish morning, or it's been extra difficult, or the carers haven't turned up, and whatever. You can share it and be honest. And it helps other people that's listening sometimes, that's thinking the same.
I think it's very important because a lot of the veterans get a lot out of it. I know there are quite a few others that are quite lonely that come down, and they get a lot out of going to places, meeting people, doing things. So I think it's very important we need the funding. Very important.
I wouldn't have the confidence. I think confidence has a lot to do with it. Support from someone gives confidence. And on that you can build. Because I've never been a right confident person. And when something hits you like that, it hits you where it hurts most. And that's in the confidence of doing it alone. Never been alone for 65 years. Just being in that corner, sharing things. I am who I am, I'm here, I'm Phyllis now.
MCVC saved my life. Without this place, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be sat at home tearing my hair out, I think.
Being together, it's amazing.